I did. I had one person who was on his third divorce, and he said he may come back.
All right, before we begin, let's thank our great sponsors, and we've got some good sponsors. Now, remember, if you would like to be a part of the process, I would love to have a conversation with you. Sponsoring the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, just reach out to me via jasonbailey.com. Let's start. Inspect All Pest Services. Inspect All Pest Services providing the highest quality termite pest and wildlife control. That's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, your pressure washing, your gutter maintenance, and other home services there in the metro Atlanta and the surrounding areas. InspectAllServices.com. Also, thanks to Inspect All Pest Services for sponsoring all of our guests on the BPX. The Mad Dog, Manny Aurora with the Aurora Law Firm, theauroralawfirm.com. Best damn defense attorney in the land. He litigates all over the United States, based out of Georgia. Criminal defense, white-collar crime, DUI, drug offenses, appeals, and more. Theauroralawfirm.com. And if you have a legal question for the Mad Dog when he visits the BS, please go to jasonbailey.com and get that to me now. It's Ridgeline Counseling with Dr. David Markwell. If you need help, get help. He's got 10 therapists who work with him there at Ridgeline Counseling, 3 different locations in the state of Georgia, one across from Sprayberry High School in Sandy Plains, in East Cobb, Marietta right there near the square, and McKaysville outside of Blue Ridge. But if you're not in those areas and you still need help from the best in the business, that'd be Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. He does virtual sessions, which are extremely helpful, and you can set that appointment up at markwelltherapy.com. Alternate Power Solutions of Georgia, family owned and operated. They are a Generac generator dealer, offering sales, service, installation, and repair of automatic home standby and portable generators. And each and every one of you, 2 peers, when you become a customer, you get an upgraded warranty, free monitoring with a service contract, offering flexible financing, semi-annual and annual service contracts for existing installations and warranty repair. They have an A+ rating with the BBB, and you pay nothing until the job is complete, and you, the customer, are very, very happy. Call or request a free home assessment. You can go online, poweringgeorgia.com, or you can call 770-853-7571. Don't forget, use the discount code Bailey, and you get $500 off your entire installation. Servicing Georgia and Tennessee. MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Beautiful, affordable bathing solutions. MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower. They're a local family-owned and operated company committed to enhancing your bathroom experience in Metro Atlanta. They provide high-quality, safe, and affordable walk-in tubs and showers, focusing solely on installations that elevate your home's comfort and accessibility. They service all of Atlanta, Georgia. Like I said, family-owned and operated. No commission sales guys. There's no hassle when you deal with MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. No high-pressure tactics. Go to their website and see the work that they're doing. Gen Xers, having them parents finally move in, and you're going to help them out, and you got to redo all that. Don't do it yourself. Go with the best in the business. These are the pros. MVPWalk-ins.com. Or you can call 404-493-6888. Mention the BPX, get $2,000 off. Again, mention the Bailey Podcast Exchange, BPX, or any of the shows, and you will receive $2,000 off from MVP Walk-In Tub and Shower of Atlanta. Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, Central Florida's first and only ozone therapy spa, administering ozone therapy or activated oxygen therapy non-invasively through what is called the Hocket sauna. Also offering red light therapy, halo therapy, pressotherapy, PEMF, as well as naturally in-house made ozone-infused products online, like that magnesium butter. AliveOzoneTherapySpa.com to book your appointment or to shop all of the products for Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, as well as the brand new Alive Ozone Therapy Spa app. If you are an Apple user, go into your app store and just search Alive Ozone Therapy Spa. If you're an Android user, search Alive Ozone Therapy Spa, order and book online. Again, if you are a business and you want the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, to help your brand, there's so much more than just advertising when it comes to this world. I'd like to have that conversation with you. Reach out to me, please, via jasonbailey.com, and let's chat. With that being said, let's begin.
What do we want to talk about?
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Welcome to the Bailey Show podcast. A guy show women love to listen to.
Intellectually immature nonsense.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
Okay, then, let's do it.
Yeah, here it is, episode 428 of the Bailey Show podcast. It is a guy show women love to listen to with a side of laughs. Eventually, that'll catch on because it's so damn stupid. It is all in the BPX, 3 different shows, 5 days a week. JasonBailey.com for all of your details. Monday, Honey, I Raised the Kids. It is a podcast that I released with my wife about us becoming empty nesters. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you get this, the Bailey Show podcast with Tuesdays and Thursdays just for subscribers. And in order to subscribe, you go to JasonBailey.com. Like I've been saying, it is the only thing that I want for Christmas this year is for you, if you don't already, subscribe to the thousands of hours of content that already exist and the thousands of hours of content that you will get moving forward. Friday, it is a podcast called the Vinyl Road Podcast with me and Brad Stewart of Saliva, where we talk rock and roll, stories from the road, life and everything in between. So a lot of content for you. The whole goal is to replace whatever you were listening to / watching before that might have gotten to a point where it's not tickling your toes anymore. Maybe whatever that might be, they've kind of given up and said, don't really want to entertain you anymore. Not the case with us. Now, that's all we got to do is sit around and give you that side of laughs. JasonBailey.com. All right. Thanks for being here. My name is Jason Bailey. There's the Bald Badger, Benjamin.
Here I am. I made it.
There you are to save
Here I are.
There you are to save the day. Hold on, just checking something. Checking.
Do I look pale in this light? What's going on here?
No, you look pale in any light because you're not with sun.
Well,
Does that make
tracks.
sense? Does that you are without sun?
I'm a white guy.
You are without sun. We should have a guest come on. Don't want to tell you who that is just in case something goes wrong, but very interesting young lady. She's a friend of ours, actually, but more a friend of mine because I know her. Ben doesn't know her.
I got lots of casual acquaintances in this world. She won.
Let me start by saying this. People that buy on Facebook Marketplace, I'll play the percentage game here with you. 95% of you are idiots. Not just stupid, you're rude, you're forgetful, and you lack common grammar. You are a horrible, horrible people. Not everybody. That's my out. 95% of you. And I'll tell you why. I just recently, and I never do this, I always have someone else do it, and I pay them a percentage.
Just so you know, this is the face
of
a guy that buys a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So,
okay. You might be that 5%.
Could be.
Pay attention. You might not be.
I might be part of that 95. I got to learn to see what your stance is here.
Okay, so I just recently posted something on Facebook Marketplace. I never do that. I always have someone else do it, and I'll pay them 10% of what I sell it for just for you to post it, work the deal out, and then I'll take it from there. But in this case, I was like, I just need to get rid of it. So we replaced the stackable washer and dryer at Alive Ozone Therapy Spa. The only reason we did that is because we needed a bigger one. That's all. I mean,
You had an apartment unit in there before.
Yeah, it was really small. We have a lot of towels and stuff that Rach and Kinsey have to go through on a daily basis. She was starting to bring them home. I'm like, no, let's just go get a new one. But I can still sell this one. Now, I bought this one about a year ago, probably around $1,000, $900, give or take, something like that, at one of those discount appliance stores. It worked fine outside of the issue with the leak in the hose, which has nothing to do with the unit itself. It's a whole nother story, another day, another time. I'm in the clear now. I think the statute of limitations, I can talk about the story. So I posted on Facebook Marketplace, and I mean, this went on for about a week. I got it sold, I guess fairly quickly. I ended up selling it. I put it on there for $300. I sold it for $250 because I kept the power cord. And they're like, well, the power cord costs this and this and this and that. I'm like, yes, I do. You can have it for $250 if you come today. because I kept the power cord for the new unit because they don't come with them. You know that, right? Like
Some of them do. It depends on the brand.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
they're not hard to replace. It's just like 3 little wires. You know,
It's just a pain in the ass. It's unnecessary. Yeah.
but they don't know if you have a 3-prong or a 4-prong.
Right.
So that's always the issue. Leading up into the sale of this stackable washer and dryer that I posted on Facebook Marketplace, now Marketplace, it has the questions already built in, so you just have to click on it. Is this still available? That's an option. You just click on that. I get the message. Is this still available? Okay, cool. Get it. I have the canned response already there that I just have to click on. Yes. Are you interested?
Mm-hmm.
So I click on that. Yes. Are you interested? Then that's when things get weird. And that's when we start getting in this 95.5 thing.
Crickets.
Right. Either I won't hear anything back or their response will be yes. Okay. Well, I'm not here to make friends with you. I'm not here to have this long conversation. Yes, what? Yes, you're ready to come get it today. Yes, everybody wants to negotiate. Everybody wants to get a better. I had somebody offer me $100 for it. Will you take $100? And I responded, no. And they got upset. Like I was supposed to say no with a reason. And they responded with, well, you could have been nicer about it. You asked me a question. I answered it. Will you take $100? No. Like, what else do you want me to say? Then I had people saying, we're going to come look at it. I had a lady come look at it. Okay. So she went and looked at it and then said that it's not going to work. I said, well, why is it not going to work? She goes, because it doesn't have the cord. I said, well, you can put that on. It's very easy. I mean, I'll even do it for you. And she goes, no. I don't have the outlet. What do you mean you don't have the outlet? I don't have the outlet to plug it in at my house. So why are you buying a washer and dryer? They all have like the one has the regular, 110 and the other one's 220. Is that right? Is that the electric?
I don't know.
Okay. So
one's different.
You have the normal plug and then you have the prongy plug.
Yeah.
Every washing dryer room has that in there.
And then you got the duct.
She doesn't have that. Why are you even looking? Like, I don't think there's a dryer that exists that doesn't have that. Is the dryer? I think it's the dryer that has that.
Yeah, it's the dryer.
Yeah, I think it's the dryer.
Okay.
Is it? Well, man, either way, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I had that situation. It's like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. I had somebody that said, I'll be there before 6. Hold it. So I did. They no-showed. Like, how rude is that? You told me you wanted it. You told me to hold it for you. I held it for you. And then you no-showed and then never responded to me.
Did you send them a message? Say, hey, where the hell are you at?
Yeah, I did. I said, what happened? Never got a response, so, but no. So another person no-showed as well, but it was not that big of a deal because they were the second no-shower with the first no-shower.
Okay.
So both of them no-showed, but the second person messaged me back a couple days later after I sold it. And they said, hey, you still are holding this for me, right? I said, no, I sold this 3 days ago. They said, I thought you were going to hold it for me. I said, I held it for you till 6 o'clock that day, but now you're engaged with somebody that you don't know nor care about. And I'm like, I don't want to get into this conversation. I just, here's the product. Here's the thing. You buy it and boom, you're good to go. And some people are really short. Like one guy said, why does it not have the cord? And the response, if I were face to face, I would have to explain, look, I use the cord for my washer and dryer. It's new and tell the whole story, but I didn't want to do that. So I responded with just because.
That's kind of a dick move.
No, it's not. I don't want to have this long explanation. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't have it. That's the point. Stick focus, stay on topic. It's just because it doesn't have it. And he responds with, that's not really an answer. And I'm like, okay. And then I responded with, okay. And he goes, never mind. And then I responded with a thumbs up.
The ultimate middle finger is the thumb.
Yeah, but again, I don't understand. 95% of people that are buying things on Facebook Marketplace are idiots, are absolute idiots. You're rude. Your grammar is horrible. You don't know how to ask questions. You no call for something that you promised that you were going to buy. What's wrong with you? What kind of person are you in real life if you're like that on Facebook Marketplace? I can't be the only person with this issue. Now, I'm leaving a 5% gap for people that are, straight like skull. But you other 95%, you need to go to church on Sunday. You need to find a loved one. You need to hug a puppy because you are bad. You are a bad person. Bad person.
I never thought about how that correlates to their real life character.
Right?
It does.
Yeah.
What do you like in person? If this is how you are on Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, in real life. Yeah.
I will now judge them differently based on this conversation.
Dude, everything snowballs into something bigger. Everything. It's not just what it is, right? There's always more to the story. There's always.
I did something that I've never done on Facebook Marketplace recently. No, I said something I've never done. I had somebody that I was trying to buy something from that would respond days later. And I'm like, okay, but what I'm trying to buy is kind of hard to find. So I'll just play their game. All right, fine. You took your while to respond. I want to buy it from you. Are you available like now? Crickets.
Nothing.
I'm like, all right. So I gave them a 1-star review as a seller before they even sold me shit.
Oh yeah.
Your communication is a problem. And I have bought this elsewhere now, but I was going to try to buy it from you. You suck as a human. And now I really think they do suck as a human.
Yeah. So the lady that eventually came and picked it up, she was very sweet, very nice. It was her and her mother. She's from Lake County. She's a redneck, which I love. She comes with this big jacked up truck, bigger than mine. Made me look like kind of wimpy guy. And then, so I loaded.
Truck's not jacked up though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So I loaded this washer and dryer. I had to do it by myself because the way she rolled up in my house, she had a camo sweatshirt. I mean, she was more man than I was. She was really, really sweet. So she backs this big old truck up and I'm like, oh, come on, Bailey, you can't screw this up. So I put the stackable washer and dryer that I'm selling to this lady on Facebook Marketplace on the dolly. And we agreed on the price of $250. And then I've got this little bumpity bump out of my garage. I get it over the bumpity bump. And in my head, I'm like, God, this is a lot higher than my truck bed. How am I going to get it up there? I'm going to have to use some man leg strength here. So I back it up. I tip it over. She's smart. She has a moving blanket so you can slide it. So I was like, hey, can you just do me a favor and just hold the top and push down? Because I'm going to lift it. She's like, oh, that's going to be heavy. Mom was terrified. She's like, oh, you're going to hurt yourself. That's where I strike, right? Because I'm like, if I pull this off, they're going to think I'm a manly man. So I get down there, straight back, big chest, big butt, and I squat it up and I push it up. But I let out, and it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was. So I was really good. And I let out a, just to make it seem like it was heavier than what it was.
I'm glad that's what you let out. I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
And I pushed it into the truck. So here's, to top this whole deal off, this is where it gets weird. They hand you the cash. They glad hand you it. Do you count it or do you not count it based off of the person that's giving it to you?
Count it.
See, I didn't count it.
Yep.
Because they were so sweet and so nice, and I knew they wouldn't rip me off. I just had a feeling. And I was right. But you profile, you stereotype. You get some dude that's from Scummerville, and he's handing you cash. Not only do you count it, but you have a gun pointed at his head. Because I'll tell you this, when people come and pick up stuff that I'd sell on Facebook Marketplace at my house, don't think I don't have 2 firearms in 2 different places. Like I'm ready to go. No one's coming to the kid's house and rip me.
I make sure that they give me the money before they get the thing.
Oh, you're smarter than me.
Well, we've had this conversation.
Yeah, you're so smart. Anyway, deal's done. Happy camper. She might even come into a live. We talked about that. I got 250 Gatises in my pocket. I'm good to go the rest of my life. I can retire.
Will her big ass truck fit in that parking lot over there?
We'll find a place for her. I can tell you that. All right. Let's bring on our guest here to the BS podcast. She's
nice.
Such a wonderful person. We've been trying to work this out for a while. You guys listening are going to really enjoy this conversation because of what he does. I've never in my entire life of America heard of what Elise does for a living. I think she actually created the job, which is even cooler. And I'm going to let her explain it to you. But here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Elise Sally. There you go.
Woo!
Hey.
What's up, Elise?
Not much. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. Do you know Ben?
No.
Yes.
I do? Oh, you came to our meeting once. Yes.
Well, we met before that. We've been Facebook friends for years for some reason.
Yeah.
Still couldn't figure that one out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ben,
yes, I do.
when I ask Elise if she knows you, you can't answer yes. That's not how that works.
That was a polite way to go. And the hell you don't. We've met. Yeah.
I think if I saw you at BNI again, I'd be like, yes, of course, we've met. But seeing you in a different environment.
So Ben thinks he goes way back with you, I guess. He years, high school. Even.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. Did you go to
a lot? No. His sarcasm is strong. Facebook, we've been friends for years, and I still can't figure that one out.
Ben thinks that you guys are simpatico since you've been on Facebook for all these years. Yeah. All right, Elise, let's start off like this. Explain to the audience what you do for a living, because I don't want to screw it up because it's so cool. And I think I'm right when I say you invented this career, right? You invented this job.
Pretty much. I couldn't be, with all of the things I do, I would not be hired by anybody else. So in creating this company, I created a job for myself and potential jobs for others. And also 2-hour divorce is something that I created. Yes.
Yeah. You are a mediator to those that are getting divorced. You're not an attorney. You don't represent one side. You represent the couple in order to avoid going to court, correct?
Right. Yeah. So initially, I was first licensed and board certified as a behavior analyst years ago, like a decade ago. And then I was able to sidestep into this pretty easily because that is a mental health, behavioral health field. And so I first started doing guardian ad litem work in the court system. And then I started doing mediation. Then I started doing parenting coordination. And then I had the idea to create 2-hour divorce, which is the court-free process that we offer. It can be used with or without attorneys. And if people aren't using attorneys, then it's entirely removed from the court. And it's just everything is done for them on their behalf. So we're also preparing and filing the dissolution or the paternity or the modification documents.
That's fantastic.
Depending on the county they choose. So I do a lot of research on different counties and judges' policies and procedures. And if they are choosing, because it's not us telling them to do anything, it's all questionnaires. They tell us what they want to do. Do they want to do virtual? Do they want to do uncontested? And then if they choose one of those counties, we follow along the uncontested procedures. And as long as they do everything correctly, and of course we do everything correctly, then they just get their final judgment emailed to them. So it's really, really exciting.
The company is called Serenity Family Solutions. And just a little background about how Elise and I met is that we both are in this networking group called BNI, which I talk about occasionally. She was there well before I was there. And then we just became friends. And I mean, Elise has been over to live a couple times, and we've just started a friendly relationship through there. I'm just such a fan of numerous things about you, but just in general of people that are able to create opportunities for themselves outside of the norm. Being in the corporate world for 30 years in the radio business and then getting fired time after time after time, and then walking on eggshells, and it's all based off of a rating system that's maybe 33% accurate. I just don't want to live my life like that anymore. It's just too stressful. So I said to myself, I'm going to be my own boss. Sink or swim, I'm going to have a company or companies in this case that I'll be my own boss. Is that how you got to Serenity Family Solutions? Was because you were done with the corporate world, or is there a more personal tie-in based off of marriage, divorce, relationships?
It's both. So my tiredness of the corporate world was much earlier on. I started working for myself in 2012, but up until I created Serenity in 2023, I was doing specifically applied behavior analysis. I was working with families and clients, typically those with developmental disabilities, in their homes and in the community. And then I created Serenity Family Solutions based on something super personal, which is being a pro se litigant, meaning representing myself in a highly contentious, highly litigious paternity case. And that's been going on for 4.5 years about my 4.5-year-old daughter. So essentially, since she was born, we finally just received our final judgment a couple days ago. And there's actually a paragraph in the final judgment where the judge felt strongly enough to call us the high conflict family and say that it was the worst case he had ever seen since being a judge. So It's been an extremely traumatic thing for me to have to represent myself through and live through for these years. And I wanted to be able to offer and also create solutions for people so they don't have to go through this.
So the dad, I'm assuming, was just a dick, right? And it was tough to get through that whole process with your daughter.
Yeah, so there are definitely factors in there that can create families to be high conflict. I have an article about that. I have a few factors on there. One of them is an endless amount of money. So that was what we were working with. It was actually his mother is a multimillionaire who really likes suing people, and that's kind of fun for her, and she wants to destroy people. So there were a lot of factors involved in that. And I'm assuming, it's not just him. I'm involved too. Every time he was a filing, then I was a response filing, because I'm not going to have this terrible thing written about me and say nothing about it.
Right.
So I'm the huge advocate. So I'm a piece of that conflict as well.
Yeah.
So thinking about 430 docket items or so, I'm about half of those.
Yeah.
So it's not just him. No.
Did you have to go get a bunch of letters behind your name to do this? Or, I mean, is this a...
No, so a lot of people can become mediators. There are different types of mediation in Florida. There's circuit, county, appellate, dependency, and family. And there's a rating system online. It's really easy to find if you just Google like become a Florida mediator. And we have a point system. So depending on the degree you have, it'll be like maybe a bachelor's gives you 30 points, a master's gives you 40, and then like a doctorate gives you 50. And then you have to do a training program for it. So families was a 40-hour training. And then based on the points that I had acquired from what I already have, I had to observe 7 mediations. So you also have to observe a certain amount of mediations as well.
Wow.
But no, so I did not have to be a behavior analyst to become a mediator, but it helped me get there faster.
Dude, this is my calling. Oh my God.
And go ahead and do it, because also once we're certified as mediators by the Supreme Court, if someone who's in training and needs observations needs it and they ask us, we have to say yes. Like, of course, I could say like, no, I don't have anything scheduled right now, but we have to say yes to those who are in training.
Give me a little, let's role play here. Okay. So you as the master mediator, at least with Serenity Family Solutions. By the way, what website do you want people to go to for you?
SerenityFam.com.
SerenityFam.com. All right. Yep. Let's do a little role playing here. Me, Jason Bailey, I think I can do this without any, I've had 30 years of training to do this anyway, but so give me a scenario and let me mediate. Can you do that? Just throw something out at me. All right.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of one. I'm going to give you the one that I had last week. Okay. So we have a mother who moved the child. The child is 2. Dad is still in Florida. We found out during the mediation that dad has lots of other children, including a new child since his 2-year-old has moved. He originally was okay and would just visit, but during the mediation decided that he wants equal time sharing, equal parental rights.
Okay.
So that's your starting point.
Okay. So let's start with the dad. What's changed in just 20 minutes?
Do you want me to actually tell you?
No. I'm role playing. I mean, you can eventually, but I would say, what's changed in the last 20 minutes? We walked in with a goal. We're all on the same page, and now you're going back on what we discussed. So what's changed? Now you can answer. So what had changed? What was he going to say?
What actually changed for him during the mediation?
Yeah.
I think a part of it was the time factor. I think if I had just popped on to the mediation and said, well, sure, let me write that right now. If I had gotten that written within 5 minutes, that's what it would have been. But I go through every single step of the parenting plan. So I start off with, okay, what are we doing for extracurriculars? Do you guys want to mutually have to agree to them, or can either of you sign them up?
Yeah, but what changed with him for him to change his mind of now he wants this versus what he did not want prior?
He realized how much he would actually be missing out on.
Okay.
Once you give up some of your time and some of your rights, it is a lot harder to get them back than if you don't.
Fair enough. I actually can appreciate that answer. Okay, cool. Okay, look, it hits everybody at a different spot. So you want more time with your kid. Now, is he asking her to move back?
That was one possibility.
Okay. So now I asked the woman, why did you move? What was the end game?
Her answer was to be with her mother.
All right, we got a situation here. Does she have a job out there?
No.
She's with her mother, which I'm assuming helping her with childcare. So they're not divorced yet. They're separated, right? That's why they're coming to see you. Okay. Well, but they are going towards divorce, but you're trying to mediate this situation. So I would even ask her, do you really like living with your mom? I mean, do you really dig her? I mean, or is she kind of annoying? Does she like her mom or not?
Her mom had moved back to Florida.
Now she either screwed up or she's just being a dick. So look, here's the thing. It's in the best interest of the kid to have the father seems like, outside of him slinging, he's a good dude, right? I mean, right. Is that kind of okay? No criminal record, not doing drugs, alcohol, doesn't beat anybody. Like, look, the kid needs a father in his life. I would rattle off a bunch of statistics of fatherless kids and what happens to them. I'm a professional bastard, and I'm a prime example of what happens when you grow up without a father. So, but reality is going to set in, and she's going to need a little bit more help. So I would go to the dad, and say, is there any way, or how do we get to this number for child support? Because that's the whole purpose of her going out there and now back. She's going to need more hands with the kid. Do you agree with that? I think if you throw this money, she's going to agree to anything. Sounds like the mom's kind of the bad guy in this situation.
Potentially. I mean, I do feel like it was one that we could have gotten there. And I do take data on every single mediation we do. This was one that was court mandated, meaning they had already been fighting at court, and then they were told you have to mediate before you can do trial. And the success rates of those mediations are abysmal. They're like 25%. And so I kind of knew going into it would be that way. And then they paid their 2-hour deposit. And then at the 2 hours, the one who was paying said, no more. And I think with more time, and especially if we had gotten to them earlier, if people mediate first, the percentage is like between 93 and 100% success rate.
Wow.
So that's a huge factor there. I think they already had it coming that it was going to be unsuccessful because of the fight they were already in.
I mean, honestly, Ben, you hear how Elise talks, and she's the pro as far as mediation goes, but I have the skill set to do it. I
know that you would never make it through sitting through 7 mediations quietly to get to your own practice.
My tone, I'd probably need to change my tone in the way that is that what you're saying, Elise? It's the way that I come across.
Mm-hmm. You got to be flat. Yes. Yeah. I hear things, and even in my career as a behavior analyst, you hear about people getting raped as children and really hurt and really traumatic, terrible abuses happening to them, and you have to remain neutral.
Well, if that comes up and the guy's in the room, there has to be something in this mediation process where you get to beat them up.
So that's how you're going to sell it. Jason Bailey, the mediator, if someone doesn't agree, I'll beat you up.
The mediator. He's the mediator.
That's good.
You got there.
Yep.
Jason's gonna get his education watching a bunch of Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson Wedding Crashers moments.
The mediator. What's the toughest mediation you've ever gone through, Elise?
I think it's the toughest ones for me are if they start to escalate in person when they're in the same room. So say they start cussing at each other or talking under their breath or doing little comments about each other. And it has to be shut down pretty soon because oftentimes I'm the only other one in the office. So it can't escalate too far because, what am I going to do about it? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of uncomfortable to me because I do like to kind of let things go a little bit and see how that couple's natural style of communication is, but still stay in the safe zone of, they're not going to be decking it out in my office.
Have you ever been in a mediation, Elise, where they agreed finally on who gets the Sky Miles and that makes you laugh?
And what?
That makes you laugh because have you ever seen Wedding Crashers?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, when they're mediating. And they're like, you just go ahead and keep it. Just no, you keep the Sky Miles.
Can you guys just stop talking though?
Yeah, I've seen some really sweet mediations. I think the oddest mediation that I saw was a couple, it was virtual and they started escalating, but then they would go back and forth between kind of jabbing at each other and then they would sexualize it. And that's the first and only time that I've seen that in a mediation where it was almost like this push and pull of like, F you, I hate you, but like, let's go on a date next weekend.
My. I see. I thought you meant like they would go back and forth and one would reply back with like, that's what she said, but
no, it was like toward each other.
The bickering was the aphrodisiac. Wow.
That's the feeling that I got from it. Yes.
So
I don't know what role I played in that game of theirs.
Oh, I can tell you what role you play. There's actually a blow-up doll that looks just like you at their house. That's the role you played in that. So have you ever been a part of an odd mediation, like i.e. what you were just talking about, and then you're at the grocery store and you're checking out and they're right behind you, or you see them out in public? No.
I so far have not run into anyone that I've mediated with.
Yeah.
It's going to start happening though. I mean, we've only been open for 2 years. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Yeah. And you seem like, what we talk about on the business standpoint, your business is picking up and it's growing and it's growing and it's growing. I mean, watching the brick and mortar, the physical, and then what you're doing and your clients and every week hearing how you're getting more and more and more people. I love what you, not only your story, I like you as a person, but I love your story. I love what you're doing. I mean, you're talking about a product of numerous stepdads, growing up without a father, married once prior. But I learned from all the stuff that I'd seen growing up, my first marriage ended amicably. Even though she asked for it, it was not a back and forth. It was not, it was literally a, hey, look, go through the house, put stickers on what you want. There was no back and forth. There was just literally, I said, here, look, you take half because we earned this amount of money together. You deserve half. Just gave it to her.
That sticker thing's real? People do that?
Yeah, it's real. It's real. There was, I think, one back and forth on one of the items, and it was these look like Roman columns that we had gotten at TJ Maxx. And she wanted it. And I was like, oh God, I really like that. That was about it.
Yeah, that's great. And that's most of our clientele.
Yeah, to mediate that is, we thank God didn't have any kids involved, but that's the other thing is, knowing a lot of divorce attorneys, these people are so ignorant and blind that they don't take their kids' mental health into consideration going through this. You're not even thinking that the house from here on out is not going to be what that kid is used to. That in itself is traumatizing.
Yeah.
That kid waking up each day is not going to be able to say, hey, dad, let's go play the ball. He's going to now have to make a phone call or a text, or vice versa, with mom, whatever that your thing is with them. It's just all about money and usually spite.
Right. Yeah.
How angry you are because somebody's screwed up. You have got to be a bigger person and put that to the side, because there is nothing more important, job, money, future, than your child.
Right. Exactly. I have a PSA that I need to stick in right there too, is that everyone thinks, July 1st, 2023, Florida changed to an equal time sharing state, whether you were married or not. That is a law, yes. But if you are amicable and you're making these own decisions amongst yourselves, it doesn't have to be that. It is going to be that's your fallback if you go to court and you're fighting. If you're doing these things in mediation and you're realizing, hey, this is our actual schedule, this is what works for our family unit, then that's what it can be. There's no one who's coming in and saying, no, you have to do 50-50 because you're divorced now. Mm-hmm. The only thing and even alimony is, very negotiable, very fluid. The only place where people kind of run into a sticking point is child support. That is a legal obligation. Of course, they can request more, they can request less, but that is something that we calculate right there on the spot. But that's really important for people to know, that just because it's a 50-50 state, if you're getting along, you have the control over what you're doing.
I'm 50. Is there a statute of limitations for my biological father or can I still collect? Please.
I don't know. No legal advice.
Yeah. God, I wish I could go back and take that guy for some money. I need it. Gambling money. That's what it is. Gambling money. So you go back to, our parents and their parents, and the societal mindset was, especially if you're Catholic, stick together, stay together, no matter what. Mm-hmm. What we learned from that mentality was you had a bunch of alcoholic, drunk guys that were power playing women who were not supposed to be in the workforce and were physically abusive. And women especially, were embarrassed to get married because it was against the church. Right. Then you move forward to free love days in the 70s. Those times start to kind of change a little bit, but then you get into us Gen Xers, and we are all about being part of divorced families. We're latchkey families. Mm-hmm. It is the norm, so much so that Married with Children and these television shows of dysfunctional families are mainstream, and we're learning that it's okay. That's the propaganda behind Hollywood. There is a reason for that. They tapped into a generation and what we were doing. Then what we find out after us and our kids, or just us in general, is that we've got a bunch of screws loose, not realizing how horrible it is to grow up without a family, mother or a father in the household. So how do you take the old generation, the old guard, our generation, and morph them in together? I think we're getting to a point now in society, whether marriage is not really as popular as it once was, I think statistically, but I think we're starting to see more of the turn back to faith-based, more of a turn back to, hey, look, I'm going to be smart about this if I do it, and this is what I want, or this is not what I don't want. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And then my only negative response is that if people decide to have kids without getting married in Florida, it's looked at almost identical to a divorce, to a marriage, because you still are having to go through that court process if you split up and you decide to do all of that, to establish parental rights, to establish time sharing, to establish child support. Mm-hmm. It's almost identical to a divorce, aside from equitable distribution and alimony. Those are the only two things that aren't in paternity cases.
Have you ever, Elise, seen when you're mediating a situation for Serenity Family Solutions, two people that aren't legally married, but for years have shared responsibility for children, like say the biological mother?
All the time. I'd say like 40% probably.
And the father still wants to be a part of the kid's life, or she's going after him for child support?
I mean, we don't have a lot of people who are going after people, but I am part of Facebook groups like Florida Attorney Advice and things like that. And I do see that a lot where people are looking for child support when they weren't married. Of course.
Well, okay. So, okay, just to wrap my brain around this,
Mm-hmm.
you're mediating, you're at a table, you're doing your thing, and there's the biological mother. Let's say she's got 4 kids. The guy was in their lives, not legally married, not legally their father for 10 years, let's just say.
Okay.
And he wants to still be a part of their lives. Legally, he's allowed to.
He is the biological father.
He's not.
He's not the biological father.
They've just been together for 10 years.
Who is the biological father? Does he have any, do they have anything established?
Now there's like 4 different dudes. He was a kind of a floozy back in the day. Doesn't matter.
Okay, so we've got 4 kids, 4 different dads, but then her actual longtime partner that she's with, and they are now splitting.
Yeah, but they weren't legally
the dad
married.
wants rights to the children. No.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that's what you were saying before. Okay,
No.
so that's not
I'm
happening.
saying that I see a lot of paternity cases, people who are splitting up with their own kids, but that aren't married.
Oh, I got it. So got to get the kid. They weren't legally married. I understand. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody else that does this in the state or anywhere else?
There's no one else that does 2-hour divorce, that fully out of court process where it's start to finish. I mean, there aren't a ton of people who do it because up until pretty recently, divorce has always been thought about as something that you have to have attorneys to do and you have to be in the court to do. And because of that, the attorneys in this country got really, really, really rich. And that's what they're used to. So a shift in this direction is not something that the standard people want to happen.
Is this trending? Is this becoming a thing for people?
I hope so. I mean, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
It's faster, it's healthier, it's great.
Are you concerned that somebody's going to come along and do an hour and 45-minute divorce?
Not really. I mean, I can't even imagine someone fighting the trademark for 2-hour divorce. That's what my original concern was. And John said, no attorney is going to want a divorce done in 2 hours.
You can't do 2 hours.
Yeah, Ben makes a really good point. So Elise and Serenity Family Solutions, you own the 2-hour divorce. That is your thing.
That is correct. Yes.
Ben's fear is an hour.
Is the 1 hour and 45-minute divorce?
Yeah.
There's got to be a shortcut.
Yeah.
That's going to help more people. So I'm not against it. I really like helping people.
You can do better than 2 hours, Elise.
You might want to call a copyright attorney and just copyright every increment of
anything less than.
Yeah.
Right.
Any decent judge is going to be like, you cannot do this in less than an hour and a half. So you've got to go to the 2 hour or the hour 45.
Right. That's true.
What do you mean I can't get abs in 6 minutes? What are you talking about?
No, it's got to be 6.
Got to be 6. Got to be 6.
Yeah. It depends on the people too. I had one couple finish their mediation in 33 minutes. Another couple did 47 minutes. So those numbers stick out in my mind as really fast. But they still wanted the mediation. I mean, mediation is voluntary. They still wanted to do it, and they just zipped through it.
So do they get a discount if they're done in less than 2?
No, they don't. Because we block off 3 hours for every mediation in case they need time to go over.
Oh, is there an overcharge?
Yeah, I mean, you just go to an hourly rate after you hit the 2 hours.
We got to rush to get this done in 2 hours. It's like time.
We don't, because it's the same rate to go over.
Yeah, but dude, I need to hit my time, man. You should start keeping track and hold a records book. And then every time you go into mediation for your 2-hour divorce at Serenity Family Solutions, say, look, the Joneses last week, I say 2 hours, but they hit 143. If you're able to do less than 143 and get this whole thing mediated in less than that time, you get a Serenity Family Solutions bag and t-shirt on your way out. Only if you beat it.
Yeah. But no, I'm never going to do that because I don't want to add to people's stress. They're already going through something so stressful.
Oh, you don't
I mean,
want
that's why my office has a forest wall and food and a fountain because I don't want people to feel stressed.
No, I get
Put
it.
a smiley face on the wall. It makes everybody happy.
It's just right in the center of the forest wall.
I'm an
Right.
idea guy. You don't want me in your business. Just ignore everything that I say. Hey, look at Ben will back that play.
That is the truest thing I've heard all day.
I've got my own businesses to be creative on, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. But
Yeah.
you don't want me in your business. Who is your clientele? I mean, obviously people that are getting divorced. I mean, that's duh. But as far as age wise goes, are more of the younger generation coming to mediation, or the older generation into it as well?
I would say we are mainly 30s to 60s.
Okay.
That's who I see. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone, and maybe one or two couples in their 20s. Definitely no one who was 18 or 19. And so the oldest divorce I ever did was the wife was 89 and the husband was 93. So
And by
that's
the
the
end of the
oldest
mediation, one of them died.
They did not. At least they
Rules
would
anyway.
hope not. No, they just did their documents. They didn't do mediation.
What's the youngest you ever did, though?
Mid
said no, 18,
20s. I
19.
think
Oh, okay.
no, not 18, 19. I think we saw like a 26 or a 27-year-old.
12.
I mean, that makes sense though, because think about when people are getting married. Usually 18 at the earliest, or usually 20s. So that's a few years being married.
So 20-year-old
Virginia, they go earlier.
It was a 12-year-old Indian girl and a 45-year-old Indian man, and it was arranged. But they went to the lease and said, "Nope, that ain't happening here in the good old United States of America. We'll take your $1 billion, sir, and your
that's rough. I don't know how I would.
gas money."
12-year-old? No, I would have to report that immediately. Yeah.
You'd have to send them to the mediator.
Right. I guess I should have asked you this before. Explain how a 2-hour divorce works in your world at Serenity Family Solutions, Elise. Unlike going to attorneys, you're mediating a 2-hour divorce. How does that work?
They have an option to be able to do a consultation, to ask more about it. If not, even if they do, we send out all these documents that explain it. We also then send out questionnaires because all of the information that we're inputting to those divorce forms are based on what they input into questionnaires. They can do that either before or after mediation. It's pretty flexible there. They schedule their first mediation. They can do mediation as many times as they need. They can go over 2 hours. They can obviously go under 2 hours. And then that is putting into place the entire parenting plan or the marital settlement agreement if they don't have children. After the mediation is done and they've signed their mediation agreement, then we are preparing their documents, whether it's dissolution, paternity, or modification. They're choosing the filing county. They're choosing if they want to have a virtual hearing or an in-person hearing. They're choosing if they want to request to waive their hearing. So we have these different packages of documents that are provided online, depending on what they want. And those documents are filled out, they're submitted on their behalf, and then we stick around until it's finalized. So we're essentially just there for moral support from the time that it's filed until finalized.
That's brilliant. Have you ever had a client come to you, Elise, for mediation of a divorce and say afterwards that they enjoyed that experience with Serenity Family Solutions so much that if they get divorced again, they're coming back to you?
I did. I had one person who was on his third divorce and he said he may come back. But yeah, I mean, it's really peaceful experience. Oftentimes we're getting people straight from marriage counseling or church or whatever their thing is that they do. They've just decided it. Sometimes we get them coming in where just one person wants to get divorced and then they're just wanting information to be able to give to their spouse. And then we see them 3 to 6 months later. So we're getting them in so early that they are skipping the fight. No one's serving each other. No one's being, served by the sheriff. There's no court documents involved yet. This is a
So the one
process.
person of the two in the relationship wants to get divorced, and they come to you and go, "Okay, here's all the stuff that we're going to have to divvy up. Let's go ahead and get it out of the way so I can just say, hey, you get the Sky Miles."
Well, if it's just one person coming in, I'm trying to find out where they are in the process, if they're safe in their relationship, because we do oftentimes have one person who is a person who's being abused, and they don't feel safe to be able to tell their spouse that they want to leave the relationship. So then I'm sending them to a divorce attorney. Sorry, it's an actual marriage counselor, but they know because it's coming from me, it's a divorce session. So they can tell the spouse that they want a divorce in a safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of figuring out where people are and how I can help them best.
Yeah, that's when you need the mediator to come in. Right. If you need a therapist that does couples and all that kind of stuff, he's out of state, but he can do virtual sessions. Dr.
Yeah,
David
virtual
Markwell. Yeah, Ridgeline Counseling. That would be somebody good for you to probably connect with.
Yeah. And licensed in Florida?
Well, I don't know because he does it virtually. So, I mean, like, he's out of Georgia, but he can do virtual sessions anywhere in the country.
Okay. That's just a good one to find out, though, because a lot of times you would have to have a license in the state. And then also, if he's doing self-pay, then maybe not. But
yeah,
I mean, if he's taking insurance.
I don't know. That's a good question. I can ask him, though. But I mean, either way, when I get on the phone with him, he's pretty helpful, and I don't care if he's licensed or not. I can tell you that.
Good. Awesome.
Have you ever had somebody in this mediation get angry with you?
With me?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
I haven't. No.
Well, that's good. Do you have security in there? Like,
I don't.
Bring in John with his sword?
No, I don't. I mean, there are other people in the office. Like, I have a suite mate who is a marriage and family therapist, and then there's a speech language pathologist next door and a clinical psychologist.
Wow.
So, I mean, unless it's an after hours mediation, there are usually other people around.
Yeah. Do you have any clients that would be willing to openly talk about their experience?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would have to really make sure, because, I have a lot of different licensing boards watching me and my HIPAA and all of that stuff and my confidentiality.
I was going to ask you if HIPAA was a thing for you.
HIPAA is a thing for my behavior analysis licensure, not for mediation, but in mediation, it's confidential.
Yeah. Well, if you do have somebody that wants to, the way that I would look at it, and for this show, obviously, is that they had such a good experience going through the divorce process with you in mediation that they want to share that story. And I talk about it any chance I get. I mean, I praise my ex-wife. I still talk to her to this day. I mean, I wish her happy birthday. Her husband that she married after me, I mean, they've been together for a long time. He seems like a great guy. I've met him a couple times. Like, people think it's the oddest thing in the world, like that I'm supposed to hate her because it didn't work out. I'm like, why? We had so much life to live. Like, that's absolutely absurd. If you love somebody once, you should have loved them enough that you would want the best for them no matter what later in life. That's the way I look at it. Right. Now, I've always had a theory, Elise, on marriage. And since you are the pro mediating divorces, the queen of the 2-hour divorce at Serenity Family Solutions, my theory is that everyone should get divorced at least once in life. And I use the analogy of everyone's first car. Nobody keeps their first car, but you learned a lot from it. Same with your first marriage. Get divorced, learn a lot from it in order to make the second one work. Would you agree or disagree with that statement?
In general, I would agree. I think you learn a lot going through divorce.
Thank you very much. Because some people get upset when I say that. I had this douche nozzle out in California that got all uptight when I made that comment, tongue in cheek. Now I can, if I ever run into him, which I hope to God I never do, I say, at least Sally said, look, you're an idiot. I mean,
you're going to throw me under the bus now? No, I think that a lot of us have some level of trauma, obviously, childhood, things that we've been through. Some people get affected by it and some people don't. But most of us do. So most of us have a lot that we need to learn as far as relationships, because oftentimes we're trying to model elements of relationships with one or both of our parents when we're finding romantic partners. So I know for me, I was trying to find people that would treat me horribly for years, partner after partner after partner. And then the one that was so bad that I just went through, I stayed single for 3.5 years and did therapy and made sure that I was done with that. So I do think people learn a lot from divorce and about themselves too.
You should start a dating service afterwards because they're single.
You got a client base. Yeah, a bunch of single folks.
Right?
Yeah.
That's true. We do have the client base.
Like I got justdivorced.com, and just have a website of people like literally as soon as they get divorced, their profile goes up.
It's called Formers Only.
Formers only.
Yep.
Love
Second time, second chance.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the thing, right? My wife and I were talking about this the other day about this new trend of, oh no, actually, I take that back. We haven't talked about it yet, but you'll hear it soon on an upcoming episode of Honey, I Raised the Kids. There's like a anti-single mom trend that the lady cuts my hair was telling me about, and Rachel's a single mom, I'm a stepdad to the kids. So it was not part of my plan. I bachelored well, right? I was a very good bachelor, not part of my plan, but that was, there's somebody else that has got a plan bigger than your plan. And when you figure that out, that's when your life starts to come into play and everything starts to work out for you. When you decide to listen and move into God's plan. And that was my calling, to step in and be a stepdad to these kids.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what is the reason behind the anti-single mom movement?
No idea.
What are they thinking that single moms should be?
The only thing this woman told me was like it started out as how she's going to dress for a function and this and this and that. And I said, oh, you're looking for, looking for a guy, that kind of, it was kind of tongue in cheek, jokey joke. And then she was like, oh, there's this new trend of hating on single moms. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never heard that. She's like, that's all over the place. Like, where's the place? You're talking to me out of Orange City, Florida. That's the place. That's not a really good place to be referring to. So she's like, it's all over TikTok and Instagram. I haven't heard this. I haven't seen this.
I think she took the lack of father in the home platform to a different place in her own head.
Maybe. Hey, Rach didn't buy it either. She didn't buy it either.
So I got a question about this divorce thing that you bring up, Bailey. I've been curious about this, and now that kind of brings it to light. Everybody should get divorced once. Y'all both agree on that?
Yeah.
Have you ever dealt with the same couple in 2 mediations where they got divorced once and then went back together and then you had to do it twice?
I have not done their same mediation twice, but I did do a mediation for a couple that was divorcing each other for the second time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you didn't do the first one, but you should have.
I didn't do the first one.
Yeah. Do you have a rapid rewards program? Maybe.
What do you think about that, Bailey? Everybody should get divorced once. But what if you married the person you divorced for a second time because now you've learned and you've had some time in between?
That's fine. I've known a few people that have done that. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even use the word should. Not that they should, but you're going to learn a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
He goes with the should.
That's fine. You go with the should. I'm going to go with the softer approach.
You should get one of those live, love, life, laugh signs, put it on there. It says everybody should get divorced once. And then at the bottom, dash Bailey.
That could be a bumper sticker.
All right. We're going to wrap this up, but I want you to stick around. We finish each show with what's called a what the fuck video. So this is just some random video that we will play. So you get to participate and watch the video. And here we go.
What the fuck?
Okay, ready? I'm just gonna cut. Oh, whoa! He said nope. Oh my gosh. All right, ready? Time to cut the puppy cake. Oh, wait. Oakley.
No way.
He took the whole thing.
Oh my God.
It's just cake.
Ow, oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Somebody call animal control. Emergency. She's got a knife. That means skewer. Tell my seeds I love them.
Oh, that's a cake. Are you serious right now? Okay, it's yours. Yeah. Nice and smooth.
Run, quick. Wait, what?
All right, here we go. Buddy, it's just cake. Here we go. Just a quick slice.
It's just cake, buddy. Hey, whoa. Oh no, Kiwi, you okay? It's just cake, I promise.
Let's see how this turns out.
That's new.
That's funny. I sent it to my daughter who's at the University of Alabama. She's got 2 cats now, and she sent me a video of the kitten, her newest one, Maverick, and how he gets really upset when she tries to take this toy away. And it's funny. And I'm not a cat guy at all. I despise cats, actually. But this cat's like, rah! It was really, really funny. I sent her that video, and she's like, oh my God, I'm making a Maverick cake tonight to see it. Anyway.
Traumatize your pets.
Yeah. So thank you again, Elise, Serenity Family Solutions. The website for people to get a hold of you if they need you is what?
SerenityFam.com. You know, like the young people say fam instead of fam.
If somebody's out of the state of Florida, can they still reach out to you?
They can reach out, but we will not take their case. But we'll do all of Florida.
Okay. Have you thought about expanding? Is that the goal, is to be able to? Yeah.
No, not at this time.
No, but eventually be all over. Yeah. I mean,
I really like working on like company processes and procedures to make sure it's got a solid foundation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
But can people pay for your advice if in another state?
Yes. I mean, we do consultations for other states. Yep.
Oh, okay. Excellent. And that might be good for somebody getting a divorce and you want to know what direction to go in before you just start dumping all this money into these attorneys. At least you'll have kind of an idea of what you can do before you do it. That's actually really good. All right, look, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the BS Podcast. Remember, 3 different shows, 5 days a week. It's the BPX, the Bailey Podcast Exchange, subscribers for Tuesday and Thursdays. You can get that information and all of our social links on jasonbailey.com. Businesses, if you would like to have the conversation of what we offer you for your brand and join an already great lineup of great sponsors for the BPX, reach out to me. It's not that old school radio traditional advertising thing. It's so much more that you get. jasonbailey.com. Elise, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Ben, you have anything before we get out?
Yeah, I recently played poker with some tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died.
Oh, God.
So stupid. Have a great, safe rest of your day. You're not even getting an applause for that. Have a great, safe rest of your day. If you're going to be doing some drinking, I understand. I get it. You've had too much. Right. Please don't get behind the wheel of a car. I've lost way too many friends like that. And sure the shit, don't be posting anything on social media or you will lose a lot of friends that way. Talk to you soon. Hey, bye.
Thanks for listening. Till next time, check out thebaileyshow.com. Make sure you like, share, follow on all socials. I leave you with these parting words.
Never got a pink slip either. You know what I would get? A guy would come around to my desk and say, "Get the fuck out of here!"
What do we want to talk about?
3 different shows, 5 days a week, 1 feed, details, and to subscribe, jasonbailey.com.